So what is monitoring and what is evaluation? And what's the difference? We're saying that monitoring is the routine tracking of program activities by measuring on a regular, ongoing basis, checking whether planned activities are being carried out. It tracks the actual performance against what was planned or expected in reference to predetermined standards, targets, and assesses the extent to which targets have been achieved. Quite wordy, but we will look at it and see what exactly that one means. Now, evaluation, on the other hand, is a periodic collection of activities that uses scientific methods to determine a program's effect or specified outcomes, that is short-term results, at least 2 years, and impacts 5 years and over. It focuses on whether the program has had the intended effect on the target communities. Now, in simple terms, monitoring, we are checking the activities. It's a routine checking, it's a routine tracking of program activities. For example, we are building a house. Let me still give that example because it's easier for everyone to understand. Building a house. We want to know how many bags of cement did we use today? How many do we need for tomorrow? How many people or how many bricklayers did we employ today? Were they enough? Do we need to add more tomorrow? Or do we need to have less tomorrow? If we keep on hiring 30 bricklayers, are we going to complete this project on schedule or on budget? Okay. Now, evaluation is what we call periodic collection of activities. They use scientific methods to determine a program's effect on specified outcomes. Now, evaluation is about looking at the outcomes. What was the outcome? For example, 2 years. We wanted this project to achieve these particular outcomes. Were they achieved? And if they were, to what extent were they achieved? Okay. So, and another mistake that people make is that they think evaluation only comes at the end of the project. Not necessarily. You can have phases. You can do evaluation in different phases of the project. So I hope you understand the difference between monitoring and evaluation. So what is the purpose of monitoring and evaluation? Number one is to identify the constraints or bottlenecks that hinder a project in achieving its objectives and enabling corrective action. Then it also builds accountability. We're saying that it enables project planners and implementers to assess the benefits and costs that accrue to the intended direct and indirect beneficiaries of the project. Then it also aids in strategic management. We are saying it is essential for drawing lessons from the project implementation experience and using the lessons in planning other projects. It also enables demonstration of results or impact and documentation of project achievements. The fourth one would be very, very key, because if, for example, you are working on a donor-funded project, you want to communicate your results, you want to communicate your impact, you want to package your success in a way that will ensure continued support of your project. And you can only do that if you're doing monitoring and evaluation very well. So when it comes to operational management or implementation, M&E helps to track progress and provide information needed to coordinate the human, financial, physical resources committed to the project or program. The same example we gave earlier on, how many bricklayers do we need? How many will we need tomorrow? Do we need to increase the ones we had today, or do we need to reduce? Also providing feedback, at various stages of the project to the donors, implementers, beneficiaries of the project, and the like. So people who are benefiting or people who are interested in the project, they want to keep getting feedback. And you can only give credible feedback if you do monitoring and evaluation. It also helps to support decision making and understanding of dynamics of the project or program being implemented. Again, if we realize that we are not, moving with the speed that we had anticipated, we can make decisions. Maybe increasing the personnel, increasing the material or that kind of thing, so that we can, speed up the implementation process. So, and you can only make that decision if you're doing monitoring and evaluation. So some of the key benefits of M&E includes the improves project or program design through feedback from baseline, midterm, terminal, and ex post evaluation. So these evaluations, they keep on improving the program. If, for example, we do a baseline survey, we are able to understand exactly where we are, and we will know the interventions that are needed for us to move from the baseline to our target or to where we want to get. Yeah? It informs and influences sector and country assistance strategy through analysis of the outcomes and impact of interventions and the strengths and weaknesses of the implementation. So we are saying that M&E also influences sector or country assistance strategy, because we are able to analyze the outcomes and impact of interventions. We are going to say this intervention gives this impact. This one doesn't give, doesn't result to an impact. We're able to know what works. So if I am going to implement a project in some country, I am able to know what works and what doesn't work, because the people there have been doing monitoring and evaluation. Yeah, it also provides evidence basis for building consensus between stakeholders. Some people would say, for me, this is what success looks like in the context of this project. Another stakeholder will say this, another one will say that. But if you have very good M&E data, you are able to bring them together and build a consensus where they are going to say, for all of us, this is what success looks like. It builds knowledge capital by enabling governments or organizations to build a knowledge base of the types of programs and projects that are successful. It enables one to know what works and what doesn't work. And I think that's what we said a few minutes ago. May have beneficial spillover effect on other parts of the government, and also provides regular feedback on project performance and shows need for mid-course corrections. It also identifies problems early and proposes solutions. We don't want to identify issues when the damage has already occurred. Yeah? Monitor access to project services and outcomes by target population helps in that, and also evaluate achievement of project objectives. How well are we able to achieve our objectives? And also incorporating stakeholder views and promote participation, ownership, and accountability. There's something we call participative monitoring and evaluation, where everyone comes together and decides what success looks like to them. That participative approach is very, very important. So who should perform monitoring and evaluation? Now, sometimes it is done by internal staff, or that's what we call self-evaluation. And we are saying that the same people implementing the project, they could do the evaluation. Sometimes it is done by external evaluators, and we are saying the evaluation is conducted by an individual or a group outside the implementing organization. Yeah. In most cases, it is done by an external evaluator, but with help from an internal person, or it is done by the internal team with a lot of input from an external consultant. Yeah. So sometimes that one also happens. But also in some cases, it is an independent evaluation undertaken by individuals or group who are not only outside the implementing organization, but also completely independent in terms of control, remuneration, capacity, political pressure, or other factors that could affect objectivity. So sometimes you find that there are stakeholders who want the person doing the evaluation to be completely independent. They are not hired by the implementing partner. They are not paid. They don't report to the implementing partner and all that. And that, of course, enhances objectivity. So that is what monitoring and evaluation is. And as I said, this is a very comprehensive topic. And as a project manager, you will definitely need to seek more knowledge, more information on monitoring and evaluation, because that's something that you will need going forward.